Okay, so today we are making lasagna in the crock pot. So this is what you're gonna need. A pound of ground turkey or ground beef or whatever type of meat you want to use. You're gonna need a pound. This is totally optional. I usually add Italian turkey sausage in mine. Just adds more flavor, it's good. Of course, you're gonna need your lasagna noodles, whatever you're gonna season your meat with. I'm gonna use a little bit more than that, but I have to get it out. You're gonna need a bottle of ragu or whatever brand you want to use. You're gonna need your sauce, of course. Ricotta cheese, about 16 ounces. This is 15 ounces. It'll work just fine. Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese. Of course, you can use the can. You're gonna need a little salt, 1 egg, and a bag of mozzarella cheese. Now this is actually optional too. Sometimes I add a little sauteed mushroom in there. I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not because I have the mushroom and green pepper flavor. So I had them out because at first I was going to use this one, then add the mushroom, but I think I'm going to leave the mushroom out and just use this because I found this one. Okay, so we're going to start off by getting our meat browned and ready, so let's do that. For those of you who don't know or are not familiar with Italian sausage, it's very easy. All you have to do, like, it's wrapped in, like, you know, a little shell. All you have to do is squeeze out the little chunks into the skillet with your other meat. And you can cook it with your, then there's a hole at the other end too, so when you get to the middle, it's very easy to do the Italian turkey sausage for people who have never used it. I'm probably going to squeeze about 3 or 4 of them in here, and then I'm going to season the meat and let it brown. This is something I forgot to mention, but you're also going to need some half and half, just a little bit. Okay, y'all, I ended up getting on the phone. My nephew called. Families first, you know that. Anyway, so once you have your meat browned, and you know this is ground turkey, so it's not going to be as brown as ground beef. You can go ahead and drain it if you want to. I'm not going to drain this because ground turkey is not really, you know, it doesn't create a lot of that fatty juice. So you're going to go ahead and pour your sauce over your meat. Turn this up a little bit. Pour your sauce over your meat and mix it up real good. And then once we have this all mixed, I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let it sit. I have it on like medium heat. I'm going to cover this and let it sit and simmer while we are prepping the ricotta cheese mixture. This is good here. So I'm going to cover this up and let this simmer, and then I'm going to get my ricotta cheese mixture. So while that's while the meat and the sauce is simmering, you're going to take your ricotta cheese and empty it into a bowl like that. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And then you're going to take your egg. I've already cracked the egg, 1 egg, and I beat it in a separate bowl. It's just easier to mix up like that. And you're going to add that to the ricotta cheese. Continue to mix this together. Then once you have this all mixed up, you're going to add a little bit of that half and half. Just a little, I would say about a tablespoon of the half and half. And you're really going to mix that all up. The only other thing you're going to add to this mixture here is a little salt. I'm using this sea salt, but you can use any salt you want to use. It's just my preference. So use about a teaspoon of salt or less. Really get that all mixed up. Make sure that egg is mixed in there good, and that half and half is mixed in there good. And now I'm going to get the crock pot ready and start layering it. Oh, you know what? I had a friend that was at the store at Walmart looking for the crock pot liners because she was going to make some dip that I posted, and she couldn't find them. And the people at Walmart, of course, they didn't know where they were either. So for the people that are looking for them, they are at Walmart. They're usually around where they sell the crock pots, and they look like this. So if you're looking for the crock pot liners, that's how they look. This is how your cheese mixture should look. Looks like ricotta cheese, you know. And I'm about to put a liner in my crock pot, and I'm going to put it on high because I like it to be, you know, warming up while I'm putting the ingredients in there, and then we'll get started. Okay, now this may be a little difficult because I'm holding the phone, but we're going to see. Now, I will say this. I usually don't use a crock pot liner with lasagna only because I just don't want to mess up the form. You know, it'll still taste the same, I'm pretty sure. But I'm using one today because I just want to use it. I just want to try it and see how it turned out. But it might look better if you don't use a liner, but I'm using one. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do this like I said, with this phone in my hand, and then at least for one layer, and then I will try to prop the phone up and see if that works better. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let me turn this meat off. So this is the meat. So you're gonna start off adding a layer of your meat, and I'm gonna use a spoon that's closed so it's not too messy. So you're gonna start off adding a little meat to the bottom of your crock pot. Spread that around, probably a little bit more. It's like a third of your meat, because you're going to try to make about 3 layers. You're going to add about a third of your meat to your crock pot. Spread it around, make sure it's flat at the bottom like that. Okay, so after you get your first layer of meat spread out evenly at the bottom, you are going to go ahead and add your lasagna noodles. Now, with the lasagna noodles, of course, they're not going to fit, so you're just going to have to break them. Just put the first one fit just fine. But to get them all at the bottom, you're going to have to break them a little bit, and that's fine. So just break it and make sure, you know, you can fit them just like that. And it depends on how big your crock pot is too, like how much you break them. But it'll be just the same. Make sure it's not too thick though, because you don't want like a thick layer of pasta. So once you have that done, we're going to go ahead and add a layer of that ricotta cheese mixture that we made. And this part is going to be a little hard because it's hard to spread the ricotta cheese. But what I like to do is just dump a little down and then use a spoon to just spread it out like that. It's going to take a little while, but yeah, just use a spoon and spread it as good as you can on top of the noodles. Okay, so like I said, it's going to take a little while, so just take your time and spread it out evenly. So once you got a good layer like this, you're going to add a layer of your mozzarella cheese, your shredded mozzarella cheese in there like this. Make sure, now the amount of cheese you use is totally up to you, but of course cheesy lasagna is the best. So make sure it's covering it pretty good, and then you're gonna add some of your Parmesan cheese, your grated Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna add a layer of that. Okay, and then after that, you're gonna do the process all over again. So another layer of meat, another layer of the ricotta cheese mixture, another layer of the mozzarella cheese, and then another layer of the grated Parmesan cheese. Now at this step too, if you like to add veggies to your lasagna, like peppers, or if I was to add like the sauteed mushrooms, I would add them right now at this layer before I added another layer of meat. Okay, so I was making a mess, of course, because I was trying to show y'all with one hand, but I'm going to try to do it now with two hands so you can see me doing it this way. Hopefully you guys can see. So I'm going to put a layer of meat down here.
Make sure your meat is covering the bottom. Spread it out pretty good. Actually, this is going to be so good. So you're going to spread out that layer of meat real good. Make sure it's covering everything. And then this should make about 3 layers like I said before. Then you're going to add the noodles. Make sure your noodles are covered. It's easy to just break them. Make sure you're covering the bottom pretty good. Add those. And like that. Just make sure it's okay if they overlapping a little bit, but make sure it's not overlapping too much. You don't want a thick layer of noodle. Okay. So once you got that going,
like I said before, it's going to take a little while to do this ricotta cheese, but this is how I did it. I kind of just held it down and spread it around like that.
now these noodles are going to move, of course, but you can hold them or let them move like I'm doing and just move them back. When you're done, just make sure you got a good layer. But like I said, this part takes a little while. So I'm probably speed this up in the video. You feel me?
So after you have your layer of ricotta cheese spread out pretty good, add that layer of mozzarella cheese. And I like my lasagna cheesy. You're gonna add a good layer of the grated Parmesan. And then we're gonna do it all over again. So we're gonna leave this on high for 3 hours. And if you're gonna be gone for longer than that, you can leave it on low for about 6 to 6.5 hours. Just, check it. And there you go. I might have to come back and put mine on low because I have to pick up my cousin from the airport. But y'all know I'm gonna show y'all the end result. So this is how it looks. And you know what? I wanted to add a little Italian seasoning to the top. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna close it up and leave it on high for 3 hours. And I will be back to show you the finished product. Okay, y'all, so this is about 2 hours. So now let me tell you this. Now around the edges, it's going to be brown. Only because there's so much cheese and stuff around there. It's going to be pretty brown around the edges. Depending on how much cheese you use. But yeah, this is how it looks after 2 hours. And I have to go because I have to get my cousin from the airport. So Brittany, how is it?
It's good.
Look, she can't even.
It's hot.
Can't even talk.